a little bit sloppy with the technique. Technique! Like SpongeBob, you need more movement in your gunfights. Like, you're standing still here, look. You're standing still. You gotta burst, strafe to the left, burst, strafe to the right. Or if you tag them, then you can enter a spray because they're standing still. I'm not seeing enough movement like Ninja. Your aim isn't bad. You just gotta work on the crosshair placement and like moving and shooting, and you would be just dumpstering this team. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you nervous in these moments? You're extremely nervous. Okay, thank you for admitting that, because I was the same way, and a lot of us are that way. You can increase your odds, especially in silver, if you have the correct mechanics. You know, instead of 50-50, a lot of these fights that you're getting in are going to be like 70-30 in your favor, because your mechanics are better and their mechanics are worse. If you just like implement these concepts, your confidence will go up, and then you'll be like, oh, okay. Are you nervous when you fight people in a deathmatch? Like right now, just pretend comp is a deathmatch. Who cares about the score? Who cares about your KD? If the mechanics get better, then your rank will reflect that. You can get really far on mechanics alone. That's what happened to me. Like I focused on my mechanics for like a while. Like I aim trained. I focused on like implementing these types of mechanics in a deathmatch, and I went from like platinum to ascendant in a relatively short period of time, and I don't even play comp that much. You know what I mean? Your mechanics can get you very far. If you're interested in free VOD reviews, check out my Discord in the description below. These will be done live on my stream every Friday. Just make sure to read the rules and requirements before submitting your VOD. All right, back to the video. Here are the notes from last time. The main thing to focus on was crosshair discipline, limit the floating crosshair, practice in a DM, and always keep crosshair at head level and slice the pie. Let's see if we improved at that a little bit. Yeah, stick to one agent you like every game, but you know, you're still working on that, so that's fine. Man, you are first in on Omen, just blasting through the site. That's crazy. I just want you to pay attention to this. This is like a great indication of like that floating crosshair issue that we talked about. First, I would let a teammate go first and then try to trade them. However, first you want to, be sure that no one is in this angle. So I would just like hold this for a second while the door is opening. And then when the door opens a little bit more, then gives you some room to peek. Then I would peek here next. Like you didn't even like consider that someone could just be right here. They could have just been holding this angle on you and you'd be dead in a second. This is a very common like angle that people like to hold. And it looks like you just peeked an off angle because like you expected someone to be in a crazy off angle here. So this is like the slicing the pie thing. This is the first slice like here, and then the next one is gonna be here, and then maybe you can peek like an off angle or see if anyone's playing close, and then you continue on to sight. Peeking with intention, that's one of my problems. I would do a lot of deathmatch early on, and I would practice pre-aiming angles, strafing into them, pre-aiming, strafing, and just trying to do like one angle at a time. But the one angle at a time rule is something that I learned like early on, and it helped me so much. And sometimes you get lazy and you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna enter sight. There's probably no one here. So like that can get you in trouble in the higher ranks you go, and even in low elo it can get you in trouble. I want to fix this like floating crosshair issue, this like floatiness early on, and tackle it now so that it doesn't become a habit later on. Best place to practice it is in a deathmatch where it's like low stakes. Imagine that you're on attack on Haven, you're going down like A long or something, and practice like peeking those angles as if you were playing the game, and like go down A long, clear all the angles one at a time. Just like try to ingrain it in your head with all the different maps you're gonna play. Punished. Good job. Good job. See, look. Oh my God, I'm so glad this happened. I'm so glad. I am so glad that happened to you. I'm sorry. But this is what I was looking for the first round. You see what happened? You did the exact same peek on an off angle for some reason. I don't know why your brain immediately is like, oh, someone's gonna be in the weird off angle and not the on angle. This is an on angle where like it's expected for someone to be. On angle is maybe over here too by the tree. You could argue that like the close right position here is an on angle as well, but you are peeking an off angle and you're like, they're definitely in the off angle, dude. I just know it. I know they're in the off angle. There's no shot they're in the on angle. You should prioritize the on angles first. And the reason they're called off angles, right, is because it's not like a common spot to be playing. If there's an unequal economy, for example, during this round, like you guys have weaker weapons and they have stronger weapons, theoretically, like on this round, that means that the likelihood that they're playing in like one of these close range off angles is less likely because they have longer range guns like this Vandal that you got one tapped with. This this guy is holding an on angle because he's like, okay, they're opening the door, I'm gonna hold the door angle. You just like blew right by that angle and you're like off angle time. I'm very happy this happened because this is a good learning experience for you. I want you to like ingrain this in your brain. I died here because I was not disciplined with my peaks and my, slicing the pie. And also you're playing Omen and you're peeking first. I don't care that much about that, but I'm just happy that happened. It's like exactly what I was talking about earlier. See how you're confused about like where to smoke? You're like, should I smoke this? Should I smoke this? I don't know. If you stuck with Omen or if you stuck with a controller, then you wouldn't even have to think about this. Like you would eventually get to the point where you're like, oh, obviously I'm going to smoke C-Link and obviously I'm going to smoke top sight and I'm going to maybe flash here. If we take a look at your brain power here, right? So brain, this is like mechs and aim, and you're splitting up, we're doing like half mechs and then we're doing like half abilities. We can't even process the macro of the game because like you already put all of your eggs in these two baskets and your brain doesn't have any processing power left for the macro. We don't even have to worry about the macro at this point in silver. You can worry about the macro once you get to gold. If you don't know how to use these abilities like correctly, then you're going to be thinking about them a lot more. This is mechs like 80%, abilities is down here like 20%, and like macro, don't even worry about macro yet. And then, this will help you get to gold. What's considered as macro, like thinking about what the enemy's doing, where they are on the map, where you want to attack before the round even starts based on the enemy's positioning and behaviors and habits from the previous rounds. Also like what the economy is. You're thinking about the bigger picture of the game instead of the micro stuff. And micro is more, mechanics and aim and abilities and like the specifics. I don't want you to like really think too hard about this kind of stuff yet because your focus should be on building up a solid foundation. Let's take chess for example, because this is like one of the best analogies that I can think of right now. When you play chess, like you're probably going to start with like the basics, right? Like, okay, the pawn can move 1 square forward or it can move 2 squares forward on the first turn. And then like, oh, the horse, the knight, I love calling it a horse, but the knight can move in an L shape. And then eventually when you get better at the game, you can be like, okay, so I should probably control the center of the board. I need to know like when to trade and when to like attack pieces and blah, blah, blah. And then you learn like the macro stuff. And then you learn like openings. So say, okay, right now we just did the Vant Krugi's opening. The foundation is like the basic principles. You're learning the basics. I get the chess analogy. I got 1200 elo. Damn, son, you're better than me. But you see what I mean? Like you don't learn the London system when you're first starting chess. You learn how the pieces move and you learn how to control the center. You learn how to not blunder your pieces. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, that's how you learn chess. So you should learn Valorant kind of the same way. That's a great flash. It's good. Good flash.
Let's rotate.
Okay.
Let's rotate.
Yes. Good. Good K. Good comms. How many agents did we just see? We saw a Sky flash. We saw a Sky ult. We saw a Reyna flash. This is something you might have just like instinctively recognized. But a good thing to do is like count the different abilities and like how many enemies on this site, right? I would just like haul ass A and just go as fast as possible A. Yeah, so now they're even weaker on A. There was 2C, 1 flanked, they're dead. And then there's probably 1B, unless this is the guy that lurked out. And then maybe there's 2A, but like you're in a 5v2 at A now. So like this is very advantageous for you. I would still be careful. They could have like lurked up here. I wouldn't necessarily knife out, but you did just see Jet on C. So you still got to be careful here because one could be lurking. Yeah, they were on site. Nice.
Let's go to B for a long.
Okay, this is a good idea. I like the idea here. We're still being a little bit lazy here. This is like the common issue that I'm seeing here is like you're thinking too much about the plan and the abilities and not enough about mechanics. Crosshair is like on the ground floating, and then we just crossed this area without even checking to see if someone was here, and you're first in line. How do you know no one's there? They could have snuck up and then you die, and then the plan fails, and then it's a 4v5 and you lose the round. My team didn't follow the idea. Well, here's the other thing about plans. You're describing the plan that you want to happen with 0 seconds on the clock before the round starts. starts. The planning should start like after you hit tab, check the economy, look at what ults they have. The pre-round planning should be a little bit earlier so your team can get the idea and like accept the idea or argue it if they want to argue it. Like this flash is good, right? Like that guy, I don't know what that guy was doing. Like the idea is good here.
Attacker spawn.
You're just like going in like a full circle and like, yeah, your team is slow, but like sometimes you need to play at the pace of your teammates. And I think we talked about this last time is like the pace that you're playing at is like higher level than these players are, but like you yourself are still not at that level. So like you don't know like when to go fast and when to go slow kind of thing. I would just play with your teammates. Like you can make these plans and say like, yo, like let's go A to B, but like let's do it fast. Like you have to specify the pace of like what you want to do, right?
Last player standing.
Yep. Crosshair. Yes. Yes.
My ultimate is ready.
This is what I'm fucking talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. Get your crosshair off the floor. Yes, higher. Oh, you know where they are. Why are you looking over there? Nice ace. Crosshair placement, excellent. You see what you're doing here? Even though the crosshair is a little bit off, you adjusted beautifully up to the head and then you shot. You adjusted and then shot. You didn't see the guy here panic and then like start spraying your bullets and try to like catch up with them. Beautiful. Same thing with this shot. Like a crosshair placement, not great. Like you see how you adjusted though? Last one there, you kind of started shooting a little early. It's okay. Those 3 kills were beautiful. I want to see more of that, but like I think if you missed those shots, you would have stayed still. Your initial flick to the head and then taking the burst shot after was beautiful. Like more of that.
No way.
Yeah, that was definitely your best round. And that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future. Subscribe for more guides like this one and check out this one next for more. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.